Hello, this is NatorGreen7000. I was watching a YouTube video by a creator called Poopie Show, yeah I know, what a name, about the history of dachshunds. The video included a claim about Americans publicly slaughtering dachshunds in parks during World War I as a spectacle to disrespect Germany's beloved dog breed. She cited Wikipedia as her source.
Columbus called German village, which had the names of its streets changed to American names in 1917, a sort of savage ceremony was held to celebrate the renaming. Right in Schiller Park, which was then Washington Park, a large number of dachshunds were shot and thrown in a previously dug pit.
The Wikipedia article on German Village mentions this alleged incident without citation. Interestingly, the same page has a section about the LGBTQ community, describing it as a gay village, or so-called gayborhood. Certainly not very flattering, especially to the people who actually live there. I commented on her video saying, "No dogs were mass slaughtered by Americans during World War I, fake news," because it is. And she replied that her information came from the Great War Forum, citing authors Graham Greene and Ian Beckett, and mentioned evidence of a thin instance in German Village. I'm unsure what thin means in this context, possibly a typo. I found the thread she likely referenced on the Great War Forum titled "Stoning Dachshunds in the Street." It starts with someone questioning a claim about Ian Beckett's book about dachshunds being stoned. However, further down, another user directly contradicts this account. They state they were hired by a movie producer to investigate the claim and found no evidence to support it. I'll read the quote. "A couple years ago, I was hired by an entry-level US movie producer who was making a movie about dachshunds to research similar incidents in the US to incorporate into his movie. The most dramatic incident, which I tried hard to nail down, was an incident in Columbus, Ohio. I remember reading in the New York Times of a ceremony where a park in Columbus was renamed to Schiller Park, after the famous German literature figure. It had been called Schiller Park before World War I, but in 1917 it was renamed to Washington Park, I think. Parentheses, the park is in a very attractive section of Columbus, then and now known as Germantown. End parentheses. But this producer had heard, and I was able to find several passing references to, was the supposed nature of the ceremony in which the park was renamed in 1917. Supposedly, a big ceremony was held, speeches were made, etc., but then at the peak of the ceremony, a large number of dogs were pulled into the ceremony, dogs of real or assumed German origin, parentheses, a good number of the old standard breeds, parentheses, Dachshund, German Shepherds, Rottweilers, etc., and the dogs were shot and then carcasses tossed into a large pit that had been previously dug. I was able to find a few passing references to this alleged event, but really never nailed down the incident to my satisfaction. Essentially, the sources she cites, the Great War Forum, actually contradicts her narrative. This whole story sounds absurd and likely didn't happen. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and the evidence presented actually disproves the claim. If you enjoy the video, I challenge you to indicate as much by pressing the like button, and be sure you're subscribed. NatorGreen7000 out.